Good evening, Jane. Welcome to Lee Rogers Meets. How are you?
I'm really well, Lee. Thanks for having me.
No, it's great to catch up with you, and it's always fun when I'm on your sessions actually, where you're doing all the questions. So, or interview or introducing guests. So it's nice to be on the other side of the table and doing it the other way.
I know, yeah. We usually ask the audience the challenging questions, and you are usually the one who says a response as well, Lee. So yeah, it's tables are turned.
Yeah, looking forward to it. So tell people how we met, and I guess what the purpose and rationale is for you on that.
Yeah, so I host what's called the Northern Talent Forum, and I suppose host is a word that's interesting. So I don't do loads of webcasts and podcasts, but the Northern Talent Forum for me is a community. It's it's that real community of talent professionals coming together to share, to learn, to network, to connect. For me, it's when you sat at your desk and somebody asks you to do something, or you get given a challenge and you sat scratching your head, and you go, I just need to ping someone and have a quick conversation with somebody who's not in my organisation, and that's the Talent Forum. It's giving talent professionals based in the north. But obviously with COVID, we're still called the Northern Talent Forum, but we're inclusive and we're open to anyone. But if you're in the space of right people, right place, doing the right things, which is how I describe talent, it's giving you that network, giving you those people that you can connect. And anyone in the forum joins the forum because they're passionate, they're like-minded, and they want to do the same thing. So yeah, we used to come together. We used to have a model four face-to-face sessions every year, and we used to go around different organisations, of which Talk was your organisation kindly hosted a couple of years ago now. And then obviously with COVID and working remotely, we've been doing it virtually. And actually, whilst we've been doing it virtually, we've connected more. So as a community, we've done more because you can do it without leaving your house, without having to travel to a different city, without having to set up a room to do presentations, without taking that much time out of your day job. So actually, we've connected more, and it's just been really nice to see people's faces and to talk.
Yeah, I've definitely valued, from an intellectual point of view, absolutely learning tons, and the incredible talent that is in that room for me is amazing. But there's something more than that. It is about that actually just speaking to people outside of your bubble, even outside of an organization. And this is where Lee Rogers Meets comes from a little bit, probably as a continuation of what you've created in terms of community, to really then understand and go a little bit deeper with the people that you might see as influencers on LinkedIn, or you follow, or you connect with, that says, well, what is it that they're doing, what's the purpose behind it, and just really understand it a little bit more, and just give a little bit something back. So
I think it's so important. I think from a like you said, professional development point of view, for me to be at my best, doing the best I can do in my job, I need to know what's happening in the marketplace. I need to have that one eye on the external trends, one eye on what other organisations are doing. If I think back back from when I was very early on in my career, organisations wouldn't share, would they? That they weren't prepared to come together and share, whereas now that's what we do, and we encourage it, and organisations want to talk about what they're doing. They want to share best practice. They even want to give you copies of presentations and crib sheets and checklists, and it's that collaboration that's so important. And that's why I do love doing the Northern Talent Forum. It gives me personally a huge boost. It makes me feel really good. I always look forward to the sessions, and professionally as well. It is great to have that network of people that you can reach out to and talk to, and be on it with industry trends and insights and best practice.
Well, I think what you're doing is ace. Keep doing it. It's pucker. Maybe not the most corporate words in the world, but genuinely, I'm certainly getting a lot from it. I know a lot of other people are. And what I agree with you, right? So we had some work done with an organisation where they were stuff like code and stuff on websites and things. And the one thing that struck me about code at that time is a lot of it's open source. The way you've got coders, they'll actually, they'll do hackathons, whatever, and they'll share open source. And probably, I think we're talking about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And the thing, from an L&D perspective, I was kind of like, you don't really do that. That's not our MO. It's intellectual property. It's we're going to keep hold of the stuff that we do, not this. But what some ideas? And actually, you would, from an L&D perspective, you've got a huge amount of creative people that want to interact in a just a better way, really. So
yeah, and there is so much we can take from organizations and squads within organizations that work digitally, work creatively. And yeah, you're right, as centers of excellence in learning or in talent, we don't take that methodology and apply it to our own. And it was interesting you say that, because I'm working with an organization at the moment, and we're just exploring how can we take time out to come together as a think tank more. So we're all so busy on our day jobs, and it's quite reactive, and we're actually saying to ourselves, no, right, for us to work quicker and be more creative, we're gonna not say have a meeting free day, or because that's impossible, isn't it? But have a day where we come together in a meeting to share and to learn and to ask the questions that we wouldn't normally ask of each other, and share an article that we read that really struck a chord with us. So, I'm working with an organisation at the moment who desperately wants to get out of the day job and do more of this big picture thinking, and it's so important. It is, because it sparks your creativity, it sparks your passion, it energizes you, doesn't it? It makes you want to do more of the good stuff.
Oh, absolutely. It gives you energy, like you say, and just to look at it and make even challenging what you're doing right now, so that even if it's only your own thinking within a group, it then enables you to go to innovation and to the next level, in my mind. So talk to us a little bit about your career journey and story.
Career journey started quite a few years ago. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I came from a very working class background. Parents was a printer and a housewife, and one of 3 kids. Knew I wanted to go to university, so I worked really hard. The mantra was work hard, play hard. So I worked hard and I played hard, and had lots of jobs, and always worked, and always was always busy, but paid my own way. But I knew I wanted to go to university. I went to university, still didn't know what I wanted to do. Did business studies, finished. But I did a HR module, and I was like, I quite like this. There's a bit of psychology in there, and just sparked my. It's a bit of a record playback then. Sorry. It just sparked my interest in working with people. So yeah, I've worked in people team, people HR, whatever you want to call it, pretty much from the start of my career. Baptism of fire, working in manufacturing was my first role. Dismissing drunk young boys coming into the factory on a Friday morning. A real baptism of fire very early on, and then I've just always worked my way up and through HR. So worked in a consultancy, worked in a recruitment firm, spent a number of years in Asda, so a green machine that was huge in terms of culture. So people culture was massive, so that was absolutely fantastic. And then a real big career highlight for me, Lee, was when I joined Kellogg's. So I joined Kellogg's and I put my arms around their European talent and diversity and inclusion strategy for a couple of years, and it was great to match my passion for developing people with my passion for just doing the right thing. So looking at stuff with an inclusive lens. And at Asda, that was kind of all my above and beyond stuff. So I had my day job, which was fabulous, but my interest in diversity and inclusion was just what I managed to fit in when I could give back. So when I joined Kellogg's, it was fantastic to actually, rubber stamp all the great work that I'd been doing and do it as part of my job. And it's something that's stuck with me. So I am hugely passionate about inclusivity, and I look at everything I work on with an inclusive lens. Always have done.
I came across something on, I think it was on LinkedIn, and it talks about privilege, and I was considering unconscious bias, and it was just framed differently, and it meant I accessed material in just a more fundamental way, really, and there was like a running track, and the way it described it was that people were further up the running track on a 100-meter race because of how they've grown up, so whether they were white or whether they were male or socio-economic background, and they were like, well, they're at 90 meters because kind of everything's in their favor, but we say it's an equal race to whoever gets to the finish line. And I was kind of like, it was a really simple image, but it's something I will never ever forget. It's reframed that whole thing for me that I'm hugely passionate about as well. And there's so many movements at the moment, it seems, that we've got so far to go as well. It's exciting, but it's also incredibly important as well, I think.
There's loads out there at the moment in terms of privilege and equity and equality, and everything that's happened the past couple of years. I think with can go into those moments in time, and we've just had International Women's Day, and you think about how things have moved on and all the race debates, and I mean that forum for people's voices is huge. And you talk about privilege. I've done exercises with leaders and C-suites where it's called the privilege walk, and you can do it remotely, but take a step forward if you've done this, take 2 steps back if you've done that, and there's about 60 or 70 questions which you can go through, and some of them are really hard-hitting questions, and we do this saying there's questions in there about sex, race, mental health, all that kind of stuff. So it's quite hard-hitting. And you go back and forth, and then you end the privilege walk or privilege race, and you all share where you got to. And it's so simple, but it's such an eye-opening exercise for people to do. And they go, I didn't realise, I didn't realise, and it opens up a different conversation, doesn't it, around privilege, and sometimes what you think privilege is, and you don't think you're privileged, but then when you have that conversation you realize that you were very privileged compared to other people. We could talk about this all day long, Lee. I've got so much to talk about in this area, and hugely passionate about it, and I've always been a real ally and advocate for people who haven't got a voice, and perhaps the underdog and the person that nobody did believe in. It's like, well, why are you writing that person off? You haven't spent any time with them, you haven't got to know them. So really looking for those gems of potential in people, spending the time everybody's got that gem, haven't they? Everybody's got something that needs turning on and sparking. And if you can spend the time and get to know people and look for that rather than look for the stuff that you want to see sometimes because you haven't got the time and you want to write somebody off, or you don't think they've got potential. It's so empowering. It really is.
And you can just hear it, right? You can hear the passion in your voice, and I can sense it as well. So what have been, you mentioned there about Kellogg's being a highlight. What have been some of the challenges that you've had in your career?
Challenges, not believing in myself, so being really hard on myself and letting it really get to me. So you talk about my background. I came from working class background, but my mum instilled in me very, very high standards. You work hard, play hard, but you've got to strive to be really good at stuff. Have I stand? If you're going to do something, do it really well, or don't bother. So that's kind of followed me through my career, and beating myself up a bit when I haven't quite delivered something that I wanted to deliver, or I felt like I've not been at my best, all that kind of stuff. And looking back now, I'd go, you just forget about it. You have your good days and your bad days, but that really did create me having much more of a roller coaster through my career than maybe I would have done if I was looking back now. Challenges, gosh, managing stakeholders was a big challenge. So I think as you get more savvy with different types of people in organizations, and you understand perhaps your biases, you're more aware of how to deal with different people, then you can manage your stakeholders. But yeah, some interesting times in my career have been going into meetings and not managed my stakeholders properly, and just being ripped apart and ripped to shreds, and you've left the meeting room with like cowering because you've just been attacked by the pack of wolves. But yeah, I've kind of like earned my stripes, and I feel like I'm pretty good at managing stakeholders now, because I've got the bruises and I've healed.
Yeah, I remember a talent director actually saying, sometimes you need scars on your back a little bit that helps you in the long run, and for things not to go quite right at times, and those experiences. So it's interesting hearing you almost tell that story.
Oh gosh, yeah. I'm not quite sure if they've healed properly, but I'm very aware. I'm very aware of it. Yeah, no, you're right.
So I guess from a personal perspective, then, what have been some of the highlights during that time? We've talked about your career, but personally, what's really been joyful for you?
Personally, for me, if I think back over the last, adulthood years, I will contextualize that. Some of my highlights have been becoming a mum. You have to go back, hugely life-changing experiences, becoming a mum, not once but twice but 3 times, to 3 amazing boys. They made me a much stronger person. I had George, my middle one, at home in my living room in a birthing pool with candles and 2 midwives, and it was just an amazing experience, and I feel very humble and privileged to have had that experience. And so yeah, having my kids, massive life-changing experience for me. Learning to snowboard when I felt I was quite old. I used to look at some of my friendship groups and they might go skiing, or did I ever feel jealous? No, I just knew that wasn't in our family's reach. Kind of like, off you go and have a really good time, but knew that it was something that we could never afford to do. And then your early 20s, I was more interested in going away, sunbathing and drinking with my girlfriends, rather than going on an extreme activity holiday, which didn't involve laying in the sun all day. And then I met my husband, and he was a snowboarder, and I wasn't bothered at all. I never thought I'd snowboard. And he went on holiday, and he came back and he went, "I've got you a present." And I went, "Oh, okay, thanks." And he turned up with his big snowboard, and it was like do or die kind of thing. And he bought me snowboarding lessons. So basically, if you want to carry on being my girlfriend, you're gonna have to learn to snowboard, which is basically what he said. And yeah, I learned to snowboard and absolutely hated it for the first few years. Did it through gritted teeth because I wanted to be his girlfriend. And then you get to a point, Lee, where I don't know whether or not you've ever snowboarded or skied or skied.
I'm a skier.
Yeah, you ski. Oh, right. Yeah, you're one of them. You're not one of us.
I'm not cool like you.
But yeah, I went through the pain, and I think when you're trying to learn something when you're older, your body just, when you fall, you don't go floppy because you're going to fall. Whereas when you're younger, you fall and bounce, don't you? And you get up and you don't remember it being such a hard fall. But yeah, I fell and fell and fell and fell, and I've got the scars and bruises from having snowboarding accidents. But I got to a point where I was competent enough and absolutely love it. I would swap my summer holiday now for a 2 weeks snowboarding. It's absolutely love it. So for me, it was a huge life change experience, was to learn to snowboard. And then we all go. So we're a snowboarding family now, and You know, my three sons absolutely love it, and they've been very frustrated this year because we've not been able to go. But just seeing them kind of whizzing past the mountain next to me as a family, again, just fills me with joy. It really does. They get to the bottom of the run, and like the adrenaline's pumping. It's like, ooh, and I'm going, I can do that as well. And you look back up the mountain, and you go, I've just done that, and it's such an awesome feeling. It really is. So yeah, two highlights: having kids, learning to snowboard, and I'm kind of just trying to think of another one. I should say marrying Brian and finding a Scottish husband. I sometimes look at him and go, "You're Scottish. I'm married to a Scotsman." I forget sometimes, but falling in love with Edinburgh. So he's from Edinburgh, and absolutely love Edinburgh. It's my second home. Would move there tomorrow. Absolutely love it.
Well, I definitely resonate with the boarding, and it sent chills down me a little bit, because I, like you, one of three kids, more, council estate, working class, and even having the opportunity to go skiing. Yeah. I'll be really honest, I always thought it wouldn't be something I would get to do. And I remember at Christmas one time that I saved up all my money so that the following year I'd be able to go on the ski trip. So, it was like 2 Christmases and birthdays worth of money towards this trip. I went skiing, and I don't think I've ever felt more complete in just that sense of wonder. And I remember, like, you talk about old and young. I remember I think I was 15, 16, but all the little kids, like 4 and 5, sort of whizzing through you on the chairlift and cutting you up and stuff, going, oh my goodness, like, these kids are they're amazing, and you stood in awe of them, but that's just what they know.
It's such an amazing experience. I think, you have snow in the UK, and you remember the snow days when it actually snowed, and you've got snow, but when you go to a ski resort and there is snow, it's just like, woohoo! It fills you with joy, doesn't it? It's different kind of snow. It's crispy snow, and it's warm. It's the coldness, but you've got the sun, and it's clean snow, and you've got your adrenaline's going, and you've got exercise, and it's an amazing feeling, isn't it? I'm glad you've experienced it, Lee, because if when you're talking about that with someone who hasn't been skiing or snowboarding, it's like you kind of don't quite get it. But it's a great feeling.
Yeah, to be fair, I've been about 4 or 5 times, and I wanted to go. My dream, and I always said I wanted to go skiing in Canada for my 40th. So that was in December. We had a virtual party instead, which was incredible. My wife did an amazing job, but it wasn't quite Canada.
Not quite skiing in Canada, but hey.
No, so I think that's still on my bucket list, actually. I'm just going to roll it on, but I'd love to do it. So who have been, you talked about your husband and your kids there, but who have been some of the people that have really inspired you or helped you or invested in you throughout your life?
It's a really, really good question. I would say a couple of bosses. So going through my career, there's been like a couple of bosses who they're just stand. When someone stand out, and you want to be like them, and you learn so much in terms of how they behave and how they command the room in a meeting, and everyone seems to listen to them, and how they always seem to find the time and make you feel special. You go up to them and say, can I have some time? And they close. Well, probably this was before laptops. They turn from their computer, and they invest that time with you. And I think those bosses for me have really kind of formed part of how I behave and how I want to be. And thinking about when you walk into a room, you've got to have some presence. You kind of got to be on your A game a little bit when you're in a negotiation or you're selling or you've got your stakeholder group there. You've got to be prepared. You've got to, you know, come out of the meeting that you're in before and go, right, okay, I'm going into this one now. Put my face on. And I think it's that again. We'll go back to the finding that spark. I think those two bosses found that spark in, you know, that spark in me that made me believe in myself a bit more as well, and you know, not doubt myself and not question myself. It's like, well, I've earned my place at this table, and why am I looking around thinking it's going to be taken away from me? You know, they believe in me, so why do I think that other people don't? So yeah, I think it's definitely that those two bosses who were real role models in my life that I would look up to, and took some real learnings from them in terms of how they treated me, and helped me be a better person, brought my confidence out as well, and yeah, really pivotal. I can't say the word. Pivotal. Can't say it. Say it for me. Pivotal in my life. Thank you, Lee. Thanks. And then the other person is so Brian's dad. So my husband's dad. He's just such a easygoing, strong. Says it how it is. Oozes love. Oozes caringness without being too over the top. Quite matter of fact, but gives you plenty of time. Wants to talk. Is really knowledgeable. Yeah, and I just, you know, look at him as well and go, you've had a good life, and I want to be like you when I'm a few years older. Yeah.
And do those two bosses know what impact they've had on you?
Yeah. I'm still in contact with them. They're really good friends. Yeah. Amazing. So I'm still friends with them, and yeah, they know. I go to them for reach out to them when I'm having a bad day. So it's not all the time, but I'll go, do you fancy being up for a walk? Have you got 5 minutes? Just need a bit of a boost. Yeah, they're still in my life, and they know that they had a huge impact on me.
Awesome. And the two qualities you mentioned, I would say that, you know, certainly from my short time and tenure with you, is that you absolutely command presence in what you do, and but also I think it's your investment in everybody else. Actually, you know, for example, and this is a genuine thing, I talked about what makes me tick, and one of the things I said yesterday, actually, in a session, was feeling just valued. You know, no judgment, just valued in terms of contribution, or having not even an equal voice, but a voice. And I think that's something that you've enabled me to do, if I'm really honest, and how empowering that is when you're finding your feet and going through, you know, we're all at different stages, we've all had different experiences, and people almost need that platform, and you've definitely enabled not just me, but a whole load of people to do that. So I can definitely say that you're definitely paying that forward.
Oh, that's nice, Lee. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Favorite movie?
Oh, favorite movie. Oh, you can't ask me that. You see, I can't. Right. Pretty Woman.
Okay. Favorite chocolate bar?
Galaxy.
No hesitation then.
No hesitation with chocolate, no.
I can't believe you're not Cadbury's, but anyway, it's your choice.
I'm a Galaxy person. No, don't like Cadbury's. I would eat it if I had to, but yeah, no, Galaxy all the way.
Okay. Favorite alcoholic drink?
Ooh, now I would have to say espresso. I can't say it, espresso martini, because we've just been doing cocktail nights on a Friday. So in lockdown, we've been having some fun and buying loads of cocktail making stuff. So we've got a drinks cabinet that's full. You should come to our house for a party, because we could make it any cocktail on earth. And we've been experimenting, and I always come back to espresso martini. Just I think it's a Friday night. The caffeine and the vodka hit just sets me off in a good mood.
Favorite song?
Favourite song? Oh, favourite song. So I can probably give you this because we've been, again, listening to tunes on a Friday night, and it's my favourite song because it marks a pivotal, okay, I'm saying it again, a changing moment in my life, and it's Lola's theme. If you know that one, it's like it's a dance hit, and it's called Lola's theme. You'll have to go and find it and listen to it, and it talks about your life's changing. I'm a different person, whoa, and it's the words in it just resonate with me so much because I had a bit of a shit time years and years and years ago, and when I met my husband, it was kind of a mark, the mark of my life that kind of helped me, and that song resonates. So that's favourite song. I could give you a few more, but I'll stick at that one.
Yeah, I'm definitely keeping stum at this stage with that.
What's yours? I'm going to throw them back at you now. Favourite song, Lee?
So, without a shadow of a doubt, it is Greatest Love of All by Whitney Houston. Yeah. But it's because it's my mum's favourite song. And
you've got to get your own favourite song, Lee.
No, but because it's deep, right? Because she says the line of children are the future. And that's actually what she's always believed in, and then always believed in us to go and do. So I'm sticking with it. It is my favourite song. I've been bagged all my life because of it, but hey, I've sung it very badly at many a karaoke, including my wedding meal, I believe.
Wow.
And I'm not a singer. For sure. I'm one of the ones you want to like cut the mic, take the plug out.
Doing a Whitney Houston song as well, like, come on, that takes a bit of yeah.
It's not so what do you do for fun? Like, and I know you've talked about skiing, but in the realm, if we were in lockdown, what would you do, and what have you done in lockdown?
Oh gosh, in lockdown, it's been, do you know what? I've loved lockdown, I have to say. I've got a busy life, 3 boys that do lots of activities. We're quite active as well, like gym, cycling, things like that. So it's really brought us together as a family. So movie nights for fun, right? Sitting on the sofa, and we all get to choose. So movie night, Takeaway Wednesday. Absolutely love Takeaway Wednesday. So we have this mantra: we're going to support our local takeaways. Who we want to be our restaurants. We want them to be there when we can go out again. So yeah, Takeaway Wednesday. We've all taken it in turns every Wednesday to choose what we want. Been brilliant. Absolutely love it. It's good fun. Get a movie on. Sit with Takeaway Wednesday. That's probably what we've done. Just going out for loads of walks, and it's good fun with the kids. When you haven't got any other commitments to do, you've not got to rush home because you've got to be out somewhere else, and you've not got to rush here or rush there because you can't do anything. Just going out for a wander in your local woods with the kids and just having a laugh. Sneaking a few beers in your backpack when you do it as well. Yeah. It's a small pleasures in life, isn't it? I think for me, that's what I've noticed, is spending time with the people you love, if you can, and chatting and talking and connecting and playing. Yeah, we've played board games, like going back to basics. The kids have played on their Xbox, but right, enough Xbox now. We're gonna play. Oh, we're not playing Monopoly again. Yes, we are. And once you're in it, it's good fun, isn't it? So yeah, connecting just on a basic level has been really good fun, and I'm gonna miss my kids. I think when we get back into activities and rushing around a bit, I'm gonna miss that.
I hear you. I've coined the phrase "small is the new big." In terms of that connection, the small things, getting back in touch. So I guess final thing then, what are your hopes and dreams for the future?
Oh, final question. That's a big question to end on, isn't it? Hopes and dreams for the future. Health and happiness. I'm not bothered about anything else. I want to be here for my kids, for myself, for my husband, for my friends and family. And whilst I'm healthy and whilst I'm happy, that's pretty much all that matters. I say to my husband and my kids, house could burn down tomorrow. can live anywhere. Don't need a car. Holiday would be nice, but not a fancy holiday, just a change of scenery. Yeah, health and happiness, simple things.
Amazing. I totally agree. Actually, it's what I say all the time. It's been an absolute pleasure, Jane. Thanks for sharing. And yeah, it's great to meet up, and it's great to ask the questions.
Well, it is great to ask, for you to ask the questions. I'm glad you had the opportunity to ask me some questions.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate you sharing.
No, great, lovely to have been invited, Lee. Thanks so much.